everybody. Welcome to the Attract Capital webinar series. Here with David Barnett, CEO.
Hi, everybody.
And I'm Janine. Today we're going to be talking about bank lending headwinds. So Dave, can you explain to us what is causing the headwinds?
Absolutely. So bank lending headwinds are in the market right now because banks are a bit reluctant and they're a bit uncertain as to what's in the overall macro and micro environment. There's uncertainty as to the pandemic, as you would expect. But there's another big issue that banks are trying to figure out, and that's their holdings of commercial real estate. So banks, during the run-up to the pandemic, they made a lot of big real estate loans, whether they're shopping centers, whether they're multifamily, whether they're office buildings. And a lot of those office buildings and shopping centers are worth less now. So just the valuation implications of the pandemic are weighing on the banks. There's also, Janine, this the fact that the pandemic was such a kind of a deus ex machina. It was a shock to the system. Nobody really saw it coming, and that's really sort of a difficult thing for banks who are like to think that they understand all the possible risks that could affect a business. So I think it's the uncertainty in the pandemic, the commercial real estate, and the emotional impact overall, which has them a bit gun shy to be lending right now.
So what kind of behavior are you seeing with banks then?
Really good question. Slow moving. A lot of the banks are not moving as fast as they were. Sometimes it's because they're dealing with problems in their portfolios. Other times it's just because they don't want to tell you no, so there's more paper shuffling going on. I would also say, Janine, there's a lot of looking for reasons as to why to pass on a deal. Like they're happy to find reasons to pass on a deal, not to make a loan, as opposed to really digging down deep and finding a reason to move forward on a loan and to actually close a loan. So it's a little bit of a negative psychology at work there. I see the bigger banks are probably the ones that are the most restrictive right now. They're very slow-moving and sclerotic in their approach. The smaller banks are fleet of foot, though. They're being aggressive. They see this as an opportunity to get some business done, to bring some better companies into their portfolio, and to also acquire some assets. And I think you can see this in the response to the Main Street Loan Program, where small banks have embraced it at larger percentages than big banks have. Big banks are sort of not really that in sync with the Main Street Loan Program, and they're reluctant to really get involved in it. So smaller is better, and bigger, there's not a lot going on with big banks right now.
Okay, so a company that's looking for a loan, how do you think they should approach that?
Well, given the headwinds in the market and the fact that you have to push into the headwinds in order to get anywhere, you really need to expand the range of banks that you're talking to, and you need to include smaller banks on your call list and reach out to them. Get friendly with them. You also want to dig deeply and look at your presentation and make sure it's as strong a presentation as you can put forward. You want to make sure the numbers look really good and that they're audited. You want to make sure that the description of the business is very professional and really maximize the impact it has on the bank when they look at it. You also, Janine, given the headwinds, you want to consider a non-bank lender. Non-bank lenders, a lot of the debt funds are flush with capital. They have a lot of dry powder, and so you want to talk to them and see how they approach your loan. And finally, to the extent that you're struggling in the market right now, the best way to go at it is always to try to fix your business first, make it profitable, and then after you've done that, you can go out and you can raise the bank loan. So not raising capital when you're a distressed business from a bank is not going to happen. So de-stress your business, get it on its proper footing, and when you're making money, the banks will see that, they'll appreciate it, and they'll be much more interested in lending to you.
Sounds like you have a lot of knowledge on moving forward through the headwinds coming at everyone.
We do, Janine. We have lots of knowledge. We've faced a lot of headwinds in our day.
Makes sense. That's why you should reach out to Attract Capital. Thank you so much for tuning in, and we will be back soon.
Thank you.